Alright, in this video, I am going to talk about the Boston Marathon Bombers side of the story. Okay, which they just briefly bring up, and they emphasize Americans' side of the story. Okay, so, as I mentioned in another video or so, there is a book called the Bhagavad Gita made by somebody named Gandhi. He will tell you selfishness causes violence, which the Boston Marathon bomber did, and selfishness causes institutions, which the Boston Marathon bomber is in now for the violence he did. Now, as I mentioned before, I've been traveling here and there for 22 years. I've been to every single last state. I've been to so many different blocks. I cannot even remember them all, but they are downloaded into my cellular memory. I remember after I just got out of boot camp, because I purposely failed that, because the Army was more dangerous than what the recruiters told me, and they lied to me. So I took my money off of that smart card they gave me, which was only like a $400 or $500, $600, and I bought a $200 Honda Civic hatchback. I drove that motherfucker from Kansas all the way up to Maine, and I went to New York City and Boston on the way. Then I drove it all the way back to Wyoming, Cody, Wyoming. Then I drove it through Chicago. Then I drove it up the Colorado Rocky Mountains, west of Denver, until the car overheated because the steep mountains were too much for it. And as soon as it overheated, I got out of the vehicle, closed the door, and started hitchhiking like it wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? But I stopped off in Boston in that veterans shelter with that Honda Civic hatchback. And I can remember that at that shelter, you could not wash your clothes. If you wanted to wash your clothes, you had to pay to use their coin-operated laundry machines that you had to pay for, and you could not even wash your clothes in the sink. And I heard the Boston Marathon bombers side of the story. He wanted to try to get American citizenship, something to the effect, you know what I'm saying, that he could be an official boxer or something like that. You know, but they kept on poking the bear with him. You know what I'm saying? They kept on trying to hold him down. This is why Donald Trump spends the rest of his life destroying those 5 people that turned him down for help and laughed at him. And then when he got back on his feet and those 5 went to Donald for help, he turned them all down, and now he's spending the rest of his life, destroying those punk motherfuckers. I can relate to these scenarios, you know what I'm saying? I come from a poor background. Ever since I was like 10 years old, give or take, I have searched, ever since somebody said to my brother, well then why are you guys so poor? I have searched for years on end why anyone is rich, poor, successful, or not. And kind of by accident, I became a damn good judge of character in general. Okay, so I'm talking like an off the charts damn good judge of character. But yeah, okay. You see a picture of how pretty the Boston Marathon bomber was? There is a book called How to See and Read the Aura. It will tell you that certain people that are difficult with others, they are so many times because that individual being difficult with others cannot produce enough life force energy of their own. When you look as good as that Boston Marathon bomber did, it's not just the simple fact that they hated on him because of how pretty he was on the outside. It's because he also had more life force than most Americans even have to begin with. Okay, but they don't tell you this stuff in school. They don't tell you this on the news. You know what I'm saying? But if I was his attorney, if I was Osama's attorney, if I was the Unabomber's attorney, if I was, who was that person that, whatever that dude's name was that did the Oklahoma City bombings, if I was his attorney, I can guarantee you they would have all gotten acquitted for what they did. I can guarantee you that right now. Okay, so that's my video about the Boston Marathon Bomber. And bye for now. 10-4. Over now.